Everyone, and welcome back to the Nova Project. I'm your host, as ever, Purpleman8, back with another review, one that I have been reading, well, been meaning to read for a while after hearing all of the stories of how the world is slowly becoming like 1984, which of course is the book I'm covering today. This book is nearing 100 years old, which is scary, but as everyone keeps saying, the world is becoming exactly like it, and yeah, now that I've read it, I can see why people came to that sort of conclusion, because it is a bit scary. It's very political, if you can, well, even if you haven't read it, you've heard people talk about it and so on, but yeah, we'll cover a few of the topics, but don't expect me to go into big details of like themes and stuff. This isn't your GCSEs and shit. Like, good God, I remember doing Animal Farm and Of Mice and Men for like my GCSEs, and whatever the American equivalents are, I don't know, and I don't care to find out. But yeah, so like I say, this book is almost 100 years old. 19. I want to say 40 something. I don't know. It'll be in the title, or I could just quickly have a look. 1949. Yeah. So 24 years. 76 years old. Bloody hell. No. Yes. Forgive me. Still haven't gotten used to this, but yeah. So this book is very dark. It starts off. There's basically, okay, great. Bear with me. I'll just have to come down in a minute. Sorry. My tea is ready and I'm still midway through a review. Gotta love that. I picked a good time for it. But yeah, so it's basically a dystopian sort of total authoritarianism, like, dictatorship essentially ruled by the party, where you are not allowed to question the party or even think about questioning the party, or you will be disappeared. Either by what you are thinking about or by your own children, apparently. Because children are basically brainwashed into being basically spies for the government. More specifically for Big Brother. Not the TV show, but this big guy who may or may not actually exist, but it's basically the face of the authoritarian governments. So yeah, the main character basically goes through absolute hell, starting off being like your regular person who's just going about his day-to-day life, but then starts to question it, and then he gets a bit of a taste for freedom. He starts to think, hey, maybe things can work out, but obviously, well, if you've read the book, you know it does not end well. It gets very dark. He gets brutally tortured for an unknown amount of time, and basically psychologically and physically broken until he is essentially brainwashed into loving Big Brother and being part of, like, society, if you wish. It's depressing, but I think I enjoyed most of it. It was funny reading things that were like, oh my god, that happens now, but like being the screens, everyone's like, Big Brother is always watching, literally, like through your tellies and stuff, because there's the alleged thing of your webcams and through your phone of people listening in on whatever. Sometimes true. I mean, look what happened with the what was it called? Talking Tom? That was weird. Look that up at your own discretion, but don't say I didn't warn you. If that was even true. Yeah. But yeah, there's some scary things, some things that make you really think. I can see through the years we're going to be seeing a lot more. I'll try not to get too political, but this is a political novel. But yeah, after reading Animal Farm through GCSEs, I was sort of like, good God, I can't stand this fucking author. because I was being forced to read it, and then I had to, like, well, now that I'm not in high school, I don't have to worry about, like, actual exams and shit. But, yeah, I was skeptical, but then all this talk of how the world is turning into it made me think, right, I've got to just read it and find out what all the fuss is about, essentially. I finally did. I'm glad I did. I don't know if I'll keep it, because now that I've read it and made a video of it, because why not? I don't know if I will reread it, you know? I might. I'll sit on it for a bit. I definitely enjoyed it. There was one part that made me want to pull my fucking hair out, because at one point he's reading, like, the forbidden book, and it's, like, 10 odd pages of the book he's reading that's basically going over what sort of themes had already been brought up in the novel, but a bit more in your face, which I didn't like too much. But yeah, overall there's some good turns, and some of the plot twists and some of the things that are discussed were very scary. So yeah, I'd definitely read it. I think on my Goodreads I gave it a 4-star, which isn't too bad. But yeah, there's some moments I was just bored, and yeah, but overall I'd say I enjoyed it. It's very hot. I do apologise if you hear the fan in the background. But yeah, go give it a read. It's very scary, even if it isn't your cup of tea of, like, but borderline horror with some of the fucking themes that are covered. But yeah, I'd recommend it, because things are getting scarily real. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna skedaddle because my dinner is ready. Very bad timing to do a review, but yeah, thank you ever so much for listening. I'll see you next time.